like some more coffee, please? Thank you.
Oh, will that be all?
No. Sit down. Join me.
Oh, I couldn't do that, Mr. Whitney. It wouldn't be proper.
Sit down. And now you can tell me the truth about you and Gavin Wiley.
I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
I said I want to know about the connection between you and Wiley. Now, I read all about your heroics in the newspaper, so don't give me any cute stories.
What heroics?
I know damn good and well that you helped Wiley escape after he killed Gunther Wagner, my servant. Now, I find that rather an interesting coincidence, don't you?
Mr. Whitney, it's true. I helped Gavin because he came to me. He asked me for help.
So you helped him because he asked for it.
He was my friend.
I think it was very generous of you to help Wiley after he committed murder. Generous, but dangerous. Interesting that you didn't mention that when you applied for maid at my house.
Well, I assumed that Mrs. Whitney knew all about that when she hired me. Really, I thought it was common knowledge.
I didn't know anything about it, and I'm certain my wife didn't either.
Well, does it make any difference?
What's going on here?
Mrs. Whitney, Mr. Whitney seems to be very unhappy about my working here.
And why should he be?
It's because I once knew Gavin Wiley. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'll just
You
go.
stay right where you are. What are you trying to do? Fire everyone that I hired?
I'll handle this, Raven.
First, you act like a wild man today because Hermione cooked your 4-minute eggs 3 minutes and 55 seconds. So what's the problem now,
You
dear?
seem to forget that Gavin Wiley killed Gunther, and that is the woman who helped him escape.
Well, I thought it was Jody Travis.
It's true. Gavin did come to me first. But that was only because I lived across the street.
She was Wiley's friend. I don't want any of his friends in my house.
It's not true. I was never his friend, not that way. Jody Travis is his girlfriend.
Well, I don't see why it matters anyway. You used to know Gavin Wiley. He was your employee, for heaven's sake.
Yes, that's true, but it was before he... All right. All right. You going to be stubborn about it?
Good. You may stay, but only if you do a good job.
Are you sure, Mrs. Whitney?
Of course I'm sure. This is my house. Anything I say goes.
What's going on, Calvin?
Well, like ships in the night, you arrived just as I'm leaving.
Well, where do you think you're going?
I'm going to lunch.
You just had breakfast.
I'm growing, what can I tell you?
Sounds like a tapeworm to me.
Yeah, well, me and my tapeworm are getting out of here. I'll see you later.
Calvin, could you wait a minute?
Yeah, well, what is it?
I've got some news for you.
Oh, good or bad?
I guess you'll have to be the judge of that.
Well, come on, spit it out, fella. My fish and chips are getting cold.
I just came out of Chief Mallory's office. As of this moment, I am suspended indefinitely.
What? What happened?
Well, apparently I've been making a nuisance of myself.
Publicly or privately?
I went to the Whitney Mansion again, uninvited.
Man, you just don't learn, Damien. You know, sometimes I think you're a masochist.
Well, this Mr. Schuyler Whitney has a very low aggravation threshold. When he found out I'd been over there, he called the chief and said he was going to go to the mayor and the commissioner. So the chief suspended me.
Wait a minute. Something smells just a little bit fishy here to me. Now, why would the chief suspend you immediately after giving you a citation, no matter how undeserved, for the work on your last case? Come on, what gives?
Okay, I'm going to let you in on this, Stoner. But only because you're going to be my contact when I go inside.
Inside? You getting ready to do an undercover job?
That's right. I figure I can use the extra hazardous duty pay. And anyway, it's not too hazardous out there.
Well, what's the job?
Well, I'm supposed to meet a guy named Eddie Lorimer, get close to him, be friendly, that's about it.
Yeah? Who's this Eddie Lorimer?
He's a guy who's come in from the East. He's into guns, primarily.
What's he doing in Monticello?
Well, he's setting up a base here. Apparently, he's expanding his operations.
Huh. Guns. So what's your part in all this?
Well, he's going to think that I'm a guy named Earl Gander.
Gander? That's street canary?
That's right.
And where's Gander going to be all this time?
Well, Gander's been persuaded to go on a little vacation. Now, I'm supposed to find out where Lorimer is setting this up, and maybe if he killed a guy in New York.
Whoa. Heavy stuff.
Well, I'm not too worried about it.
Are you kidding? Where's your head at? Undercover work is always dangerous. You owe me $3.
What?
You owe me $3, and I don't want to waste time
Oh, come on.
trying to get it out of your estate. Anyway, it'll help pay for the fish and chips.
All right.
Look, you watch your back on this assignment, huh? I hear heroics can be fatal.
That's very funny, Calvin.
Maybe I took a certain liberty yesterday, Derek. I'm not sure I had the right to do what I did.
What's that, Mike?
I talked with Jody Travis about this case.
Now, Mike, it's your job to be as thorough in these matters as possible. Jody Travis volunteered to talk to you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you were just following through. There's nothing amiss about that.
I'm not so sure I was just following through. I think my real purpose in talking to Jody was to try and persuade her to get Gavin to change his story about how the killing took place.
Well, he's been stubborn as an old mule on that matter. He hasn't wavered a single inch, and I think the best thing would be if Jody or somebody could get him to change his story, at least to something that would coincide with the physical evidence.
Well, I guess that decision will have to come from within. But the jury is not going to be easy on him unless he does change his story.
No, they're not.
Curious thing, too, when I talked to Jody. She brought up that business about the watch again.
I thought that was a dead issue. What'd you say about it?
She asked me what I could do if she and Gavin could prove that there was a second watch, one that played the tune that she sang for us the day we confronted Sky Whitney.
Mike, those kids, they're just clutching at straws.
Probably. But can you blame them? They're in deep trouble. They're looking for any port in the storm.
I know. It's a damn shame, too. They seem like nice kids. They're just caught up in a whirlwind of circumstance.
Well, the evidence isn't circumstantial. It's solid, and they're stuck with it.
They are stuck with it. You ready for lunch?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Who's this?
Somebody we had to arrest the other day. Patient of Miles. Her name is Jinx Avery. She's an actress. She insisted on clowning around for those photographs.
Seems a shame to put such a beautiful woman in jail.
No, she's not in jail. She's out on the street right now, creating God knows what kind of mischief.
Absolutely stunning.
It is gorgeous. How much is it?
Well, since you look so beautiful in it, only 9,000.
Only 9,000. Well, I'd like to charge it on my father's account. It's still open, isn't it?
Oh, dear lady, of course.
Oh, hi, Cliff.
Hi.
What's the matter? Didn't you have a good time last night? I would think that you would. You're a natural-born ham.
I only went there to accompany Mitzi, that's all.
You mean to tell me you didn't participate? I can see you now delivering a soliloquy from Hamlet.
No, I didn't do that. I did do something else, though.
What's that?
I delivered my final speech to the jury in the Gavin Wiley case, my summation.
You what?
Oh, Mitzi suggested it, and the group coaxed me on. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I just wanted to see how it felt. Sounded pretty good.
I'll bet.
Oh, it was brilliant. See, I took the stapler and I used it as a fake gun. I gave it to one of the jurors to hold to see what they would do in the situation. And I built to a brilliant climax. Spellbinding.
Sounds like a triumph.
It was. The juror fired the stapler the same way I said Gavin Wiley would fire the gun.
Then why are you so depressed this morning?
Because I can't use it, Dee Dee. The only speech I can deliver to the real-life jury has to explain the difference between Gavin Wiley's testimony and Miles Kavanaugh's testimony. And, you know, forensic evidence can't be refuted.
Then what's the answer?
There is no answer. I can't explain the difference in the testimonies, and that is the whole ball game.
Cliff, there's got to be an answer. We'll just have to find it, that's all.
Well, I didn't find any in acting class, that's for sure.
Well, it couldn't have been a total loss. At least you got in some practice.
Rehearsal.
What?
Rehearsal. They don't use the word practice in the theater. They beat you up or something if you say that. The word is rehearsal.
Well, in law, it's practice. Now just imagine how ridiculous it would sound if somebody asked you what you did for a living and you said, "Oh, I rehearse law."
Never thought of that. It's open.
Well, the team of Bannister and Nelson. Oh, Nelson and Bannister. Sorry. Well, you two are ready for lunch, I trust. What, no warm handshake, no clever conversation? Do these old eyes deceive me, or has a pall fallen on this office?
It's all right, I'm just not hungry. Why don't you and Dee Dee go to lunch?
Cliff, you said you were going to join us.
Yeah, come on, pal. I mean, after all, who are we going to kick around if you aren't there? And the things I have to say about you, I don't want to say behind your back.
Look, I'm sorry. I just will be lousy company for lunch. I'm going to go see my client, all right?
Cliff, come on. Don't you want to change your mind?
What's with him? He's not sorry he took Gavin's case by any chance.
No, he's not sorry. He's just worried, that's all.
Yeah, well, you look a little worried yourself.
Well, he said he was going to join us.
I see. And now you don't think it's a good idea to go to lunch alone with me? I mean, now that Cliff's not going, is that it?
Calvin, I don't need a chaperone if that's what you're getting at. I just think it would be a little awkward, that's all.
Dee Dee, this is because of what I said to you last time, isn't it?
Calvin,
it's
no.
because I told you that I think I love you. Look, I really didn't intend to turn you off.
Calvin, you promised that you'd never say that again.
I'm sorry, I was just quoting myself.
Well, I don't want to hear it. Not in quotes, not in any other way.
Okay, I will keep my big mouth shut.
Then how do you expect to eat?
Good question. What I meant was I will keep all such thoughts to myself.
Calvin, I don't want to care about a man who could be in love with two women at the same time. I can't have lunch with you.
Oh, come on, Dee Dee, we're just going to eat.
I think I've lost my appetite.
That's a shame. You know, I was really looking forward to lunch.
Sorry you're so annoyed, but I don't see why it matters that Bobby knew Gavin, or even if she helped him.
It matters to me.
But why? It's in the past. And besides, who cares what that girl did in her little tawdry past?
It's messy having her here, that's all.
But I think you're overreacting. Sit down.
You're acting like a little boy who can't get his own way.
Look, there's a link between her and Wiley, and I don't like it.
Baby, she probably doesn't even care about him anymore. You heard what she said about Jody being involved with him, so what's so important? Besides, Gavin's gonna be out of your way for a long time.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be behind bars for quite a long time. That's a pleasant thought.
So don't be impossible about the servants, okay? Promise me I have enough troubles.
All right, my love. But just don't hire anybody without me. Got it?
Okay.
Darn. I've got to go. Spencer's waiting for me. I've got to go see my broker.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Bye, baby. Phew, that was a close one.
Mrs. Whitney?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I have soothed the savage soul. However, smooth things over, gonna have to get that watch fixed. Problem is, I have to find a jeweler that deals with antique watches. So maybe I can go to the same place that he bought this one. Problem is that I don't know the jeweler's name, so I guess I'll just have to look it up in the phone book and make a list and call all of them. Can I help? Yes, as a matter of fact, why don't you make the list and jot down the numbers, and I will place the calls.
And waiter, could you bring our order as soon as possible?
Yes, of course, sir.
We got a meeting at 2 o'clock back at headquarters.
Don't worry, Derek. I'll remind you about the time.
Okay. Well, will you look at that?
Isn't that the woman in the mug shots you just showed me?
It sure is.
I think it's safe to say she's not the usual type you book.
I wouldn't be surprised if she followed me here.
What do you mean?
The other night, she followed Miles and me into the Carlton bar.
Why?
To taunt us with that diamond bracelet she's wearing. This whole thing started when she tried to steal that bracelet. Miles managed to get her out of trouble, but then I'll be damned if she didn't go and buy that bracelet. Anyway, when she came into the Carlton, she was pretending like she'd stolen it for the second time.
Is she playing some kind of game?
Oh, she's trying to make me look like an old turkey.
Well, there must be some mistake.
What is this?
The compliments of the ladies, sir.
Oh, no. Take it back.
Maybe you shouldn't. Derek, it might seem ungracious.
You think so? Okay. Well, then, let me give her our thanks personally.
Well, if it isn't Chief Mallory. Isn't your handsome luncheon partner the distinguished district attorney of Monticello?
You never mind my handsome luncheon partner, and don't mind me asking you personal questions, but where is all the money coming from?
Money? That's a fine way of thanking me for my little gift.
The little gift was very expensive, and so is this fur coat, and so is that diamond bracelet. You're being rather extravagant, aren't you?
Oh, you haven't heard?
Heard what?
Well, I'm celebrating today because I just won the grand prize in the lottery.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
Bye. This is getting so boring. We have called every jeweler and repair shop in the area.
But you want to get the watch fixed, don't you?
Yes, but I am not going to make one more phone call. That watch that I gave Schuyler is causing more trouble than it's worth. Besides that, I have things to do today, so why don't you finish making the calls?
Oh, sure, Mrs. Whitney. I don't mind. There aren't that many numbers left.
I'll see you later. The watch that I gave him I put in here.
I've got to get this fixed.
Huffman Jewelers.
Oh, hello. I was wondering if you could help me.
I hope I can, lady. I'll try very hard.
I'm trying to find a watch dealer who may have sold an antique pendant watch recently to a gentleman, a Mr. Whitney.
Whitney? Yes. I remember he bought a lady's pendant watch. I remember well, because he also bought an antique pocket watch. A very rare piece, with a music box inside.
You don't by any chance happen to remember the music the pocket watch played, do you?
No, lady. It's not my memory. Perhaps in my records. I'll see if I can help. Is there something wrong with the watch? Perhaps I can have it repaired.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you can. As a matter of fact, I'll bring it in myself. Thank you very, very much. So Raven bought him one watch, and Skylar bought another. There are 2 watches.
Seems as though